Morning guys, David here and welcome to another beautiful day here in Baku. So this week is all about systems and automations, and we started yesterday off with Ryan from Legit Fit coming on to explain how he'd done it in his software company, how he'd previously done it in his own fitness business, and what kind of trends and stuff he was currently seeing from FitPros coming into his software and the questions that they've been asking. So it's definitely one of those episodes that you probably want to go back and check to see what else is going on in the fitness industry. Today though, I've got 5 automations and software tips coming your way right now. But before I do dive into today's episode, if you haven't already subscribed, press pause, press subscribe, and then let's dive into tip number 1. Okay, so tip number 1, before we actually do dive into a few other stages and softwares and stuff, I just wanted to explain more about automations. Now, automations are these things that should make your life easier. They should open up more time for you to be able to do other things. They should make the journey of your customer or your prospect much easier as well. So you need to consider what automations you need. You should need to look through the whole journey, through the lead generation side of things, the whole sales side of things, the whole client onboarding, the client journey. Write everything down step by step. What happens when this happens, then what happens next, then what happens next, then what happens next. Look at the tasks and stuff that you have to do manually that takes up a load of your time, and then start researching into, is there a way that I can have this happen automatically? I don't need to do anything, I don't need to touch anything, I can just set it up and it automatically happens for me. So step number 1, map everything down in your fitness business, everything you're going to do repetitively, and have a look at what type of things that you can put in place to save yourself some time. Okay, so number 2, now you've been able to write down all the stages, you know the type of things that you want to start automating to make your life easier. We then need to start looking into some software and tools to make us to be able to give us the opportunity to do this. So the first tool or first piece of software I wanted to consider is something called Zapier. Now what Zapier does, it starts off with a trigger. So you say when this certain thing happens, and then you build automations underneath. So when this happens, I want this to happen, wait 10 minutes or wait a day and then have this happen, or when somebody clicks this link, I want this to happen. It's just going to make your life so much easier. The best example I can give you is when a new lead comes in to, let's say, your landing page. You have it set up so when a new lead comes in, you have a trigger that says add these contact details onto a spreadsheet. Send the phone number a text message. Send me an email to let me know I've got a new lead. So tip number 2, go and check out something like Zapier, where it's all about automations to really set a trigger and then have loads of different automations happen off that trigger. Okay, tip number 3, and this is more about social media and the one bit of software we use for our social media stuff. So when you go to post stuff on social media, whether it's on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Google My Business or all these different places you're posting all your social media content, you're always going to be having to do it one at a time. Posting different pictures for different size, for different places and different sizes and things like that. But with something like Buffer, you write your stuff in, you select the channels that you want them to send to. Buffer will tell you how many characters you've got left, and then you can alter your posts for different stages, and you can upload different size images for each social channel too. And then all you do then, you should say post now, or you'd say schedule. And let's say you want to schedule for 2 or 3 hours, you just set schedule for 2 to 3 hours, and then that post would automatically get published on your behalf. So what most of us do is they download something like the social stack from inside the FitPro portal, upload all the stuff straight away, just copy it and paste it in, use the Canva graphic, post it in, schedule it all for the whole month, and then before you know it, then that's all done for you every single day without any extra help that you need to do. Okay, tip number 4, and this kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with Zapier. Now what I want you to do is have a look at your email follow-up series. What this is all about building know, like and trust with your prospects, or potentially it's when a new client comes on board and you're sending them a daily email or a weekly email to keep them updated on how they're getting on their program or the service that they've joined. It might be like a mini course that you've written, and instead of you having to deliver it manually, sending them one email at a time, you use some sort of email follow-up automation process. So ActiveCampaign has automations, Aweber, MailChimp, they all have them, and all you do is write all your emails in, you add the waiting stops. You might say, send this email now, then wait 5 days, and send this email, then wait 2 days and send this email. Or you might have it every Sunday, I want you to send out these emails. And that's going to save you a load of time of having to do it manually. So one, it's going to massively help you build know, like, and trust with prospects. A prospect submits their details for information, and then you send them maybe an email every day, every couple of days, giving a load of information about your program, and you send newsletters. Plus two, when a new client comes on board, you can deliver a whole course to them step by step using automated emails. So step number 4 is definitely try and use some sort of email automation setup, because it's really going to save you a load of time from having to send those emails manually. Okay, and tip number 5 goes back to what we started at the start, where we were talking about coming up with the type of setups and automations that you want in your fitness business. Now, there is times where we can put automations in because we think it's going to save us a load of time, but it takes away that personal touch from your actual prospect or from your clients. So if you have a client come in and you set an automation up in Zapier that after they join, send them a text message 2 days later asking them how they've been getting on in their first session, yeah, it's a great idea because you're checking in with them, but maybe they decided they were going to push it back maybe a week, maybe something's happened in their personal and family life, and that text message gets sent out, and then it looks a bit silly on you because you've asked them how they've been getting on, but they haven't even been in yet. So we do need to consider sometimes if the automation is going to save us a load of time, but is it also sometimes better to do it manually because we can have more of a personal touch to it. We can be sending things that don't make sense by mistake, and a load of other things like that. So those are 5 automation software tips, ideas, different type of things for you to consider when you're setting up automation systems inside your fitness business. I would just take my time, go back to step number 1, work through the different type of things that I wanted to have in my business, type of steps that I want to happen when the prospect comes in or a client signs up. Have a look at ways you can potentially save yourself some time, and then go back like to the email automation stuff where you can just send out a course or an email every couple of days to build that trust and really save you a load of time that way. I'm going to leave it there for today. If you loved it, make sure you do comment below or subscribe, and I'll speak to you all tomorrow.